Hello, everybody. Today on Work From Home Opportunities Hangout, we're going to be talking about circles. My name is Travis, the digital marketing nomad, and I have a bunch of panelists on here today to talk about circle management with us. And I'm going to introduce everybody here, starting with Robert, our fearless leader of the Work From Home community. Robert.
Hey Travis, how you doing?
Good.
Yeah. My name's Robert Edwards. I'm the owner of the Work From Home community.
Yeah, I'm a little apprehensive about sharing about circles today because I'm going to give up all my goods. It's how I built the community and what I use to moderate, to target members, and it really is. It's such a useful tool, and I wouldn't even be here without circles, because once I started using circles, it was such a huge advantage. So I'm happy to be here today, and I welcome everybody who's on the panel today. This is awesome. I've missed the last few, but you guys are just doing an awesome job. So thanks, Travis. Next.
Awesome. Renee, do you want to let everyone know who you are?
Sure. My name's Renee Sullivan, and I've been a member of the Work From Home Opportunities community. I'm thinking about 3 months. I'm not positive. I was in there earlier, but then kind of left and came back. And I've actually learned a lot from the way that Robert has set up the way his community is. So I've been online, an online marketer for about 7 months. And, I've learned a lot from this community. I'm learning a lot from the people on this panel. I'm learning a lot from the different things I've taken and implemented. So, and I'm definitely using circles. So I'm curious to see how other people are using circles. So thanks, Travis.
Awesome. And let's go with Danny next. Let everyone know who you are and what you do.
Danny Forts with Rejection-Free Formula, no calling, no chasing, no convincing, and with ProfitWithPureLeverage.com. I've been in the work from home community for a little while, and I just became, it was the exact kind of community that I was actually looking for, one where people were active on a daily basis, and a community I was also looking to leverage and to also help and serve. I actually work as a full-time internet marketer. I have not worked a job in 3 years. I have local clients, and there was a few tips that I had gotten from online marketers in training that said if you took even the minimum of what you knew and went out and tried to serve a local business owner, they would pay you handsomely. And the fact of the matter is they do. Sometimes it takes longer in the education process, but that's pretty much what I do. I work with local, small business owners, independent business owners, and I also help people who are looking to take, whether it's their network marketing business online and things like that, and just help people who want to do stuff like that and do tips, tricks, tactics, strategies, the 70s of providing value. So that's it. Glad to be here. Hi, everybody. I've missed you for a while. I've been busy.
Awesome. And let's bring on Dana. Tell everyone who you are and what you do.
Hi everyone, my name is Dana Carpio, and just recently I have established my blog at danacarpio.wordpress.com, so go and check it out. I have been working online since about July, trying to get my reach out with my primary business, and things kind of changed here lately, and it's more now about helping others, and that's where my focus is right now, is trying to help other people understand what's going to help you online and what's not. And I look forward to joining in the circle conversation today.
Awesome. I don't know if anyone else can hear Dana. I'm not able to.
I did not hear Dana at all.
No?
Okay, I'm gonna.
I actually can hear Dana loud and clear. So I heard her, so I would imagine Christina can hear her as well, because usually Christine can hear her. So am I right, Christine?
Yeah, I can't hear today. You are the translator today.
Oh, so I'm the translator today. It must be something like the last person that gets on must be the only person that can hear Dana. But basically, she just... Okay, so let me translate that. So Dana basically said she had just started her blog at and she's been blogging at danacarpio.wordpress.com, and so you can check her out there. And she's helping people get online and what to do and what not to do. And then she's excited about today's conversation about circles. So that's what she said.
Awesome. And let's introduce Christina. Tell everyone what you do.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Christina Irvin here at youtube.com/the Christina Irvin. Yeah, I actually I build in my business part-time. I still work full-time in corporate America, but I build my business part-time, full-time actually, because I feel like I'm still putting in full-time hours building my business. But really, I'm just helping people learn how to leverage the internet and attracting leaders, growing a strong brand, and building their business online.
Awesome. So that's the panel today. But let's get right into this. Circles are a wonderful tool on building and leveraging the power of Google+. And so to start off, let's just talk about how we manage our circles. Do we have any tips or tricks, any techniques on circle management? Christina, do you want to start off?
I think we probably all use different techniques. I, for one, do my circle management. I have basically 4 top circles that I really kind of work with, and I basically feed people through those. I set my circles up so that I have engagers and influencers in my top circles, so that I know that I'm always dealing with people in my news feed that are, like I said, engagers or influencers. That way, especially for people who are building their business part-time, it's very important that you're able to manage your time. You know that you're not going to be sifting and sorting through your news feed. You're always going to have information that you can work with in that news feed. It's very important, because I don't think enough people realize the importance of engagement and how being reciprocal in your communication is very important. Because if you are always willing to share other people's information, then they're going to be likely to be reciprocal and share +1 and comment on yours. So that's my main focus with my circle setup.
Awesome. I think we have similar techniques, just the way you're talking there. Dana, do you have any tips on how do you use your circle? Do you have any top circles or anything?
I don't have any top circles per se. Can you hear me this time? Can you hear me?
Dana, I think I'm the only one that can hear you, so just talk, I'll translate, because I'm sure they'll get it all on the replay.
Okay. I don't really have any top circles. What I do, I have different circles for different things. I mean, I do have some personal friends that I follow on Google+. I do have, of course, there's tons of individuals from work from home, but those and it's pretty much, I don't have any specific tips, but the way I use my circles right now is still under development. So there's always room for change. So, but right now, for example, if I have someone coming from Facebook that I met on Facebook and they don't have me on Google+, if they have a profile, when they come over to Google+ and they set up their profile, that's where I put them in a specific tag, in a specific circle, so I know that they were pulled from another platform. And to me, that helps me manage who needs to learn what as well.
Okay, I was trying to unmute and then hit my profile button. So let me just translate what actually Dana said. So she said she doesn't have any specific like strategy. Actually, I was typing my notes, so let me put them in the chat so I can see all of them because I wrote a little bit. So she doesn't have a quote unquote top circles. Her dog was barking in the background, so that was kind of cool. So she doesn't have specific tips per se. And she says the way she uses circles is still kind of under development / under construction, and that, but she meant where she actually met people. So she gave an example of when she met someone on Facebook, she would put them in a Facebook circle because, one, so she could also teach them how to actually use Google Plus and to know which platform she actually connected with them on. So that's what Dana said.
Awesome. Actually, Danny, do you want to come back on and say how you use your circles? Any tips and tricks there?
Sure. So when I first got started out, and I'm sure this is for most people, we start using Google Plus and not really sure exactly how it works. Like, you see circles that you kind of see, like you can grab people's circles, and then I realized that that's not really a great way to do things. So after, for a while, I started to kind of learn the whole segmenting thing when you could, create a new circle. When I started doing that, I was like, oh, okay. So then I started doing it by people's companies, people's opportunities, people's where they live. So if I know people in Phoenix, for instance, I would also circle them as local. And then also people who do video and Google Plus community. So I have actually a ton of circles. I do only concentrate on a select few that I actually keep up with because, let's face it, and you guys heard me say this many times and I'll say it again, you can dick around all day on social media if you want. That's not going to get you results. So you can literally do stuff all day long, or you can just focus on the people and the quote-unquote opportunities that either you can serve or that can serve you. Okay, the whole give and take. But that's mainly how I do it. I definitely love to connect with people who obviously do video. I mean, Travis and I talk, Robert and I talk. I haven't talked to Renee in a while, but I'm sure we'll talk again soon. Well, I just haven't been as active, and I'm sure she's been, just like she said, she's been away for a little bit. Kai and I talk probably every other day at least. And Christina, I haven't got to just yet, but I'm sure we're going to hop on here sometime very soon because I've been dying to do so. But as you can see, I've just been really busy as well. So, but that's mainly how I do it. I mean, and there's definitely people I connect with more because we're at a certain, I guess, I don't want to say, we're at different levels. And so you definitely want to connect with people that, you can definitely share and that, can kind of help you move along as well. So, but that's how I do it.
Awesome. Yeah, circles, you can have up to 500 individual circles, so don't feel afraid of not, from running out. If you want to organize it as much as Danny does, that's a great way to do it. Renee, are there any tips and tricks that you use for your circle management?
Well, I do it very similar to the way Danny does it. I think, about 15 different groups. It expands all the time. And I base it on, I have a group with different people in different companies. I have a group of, I'm also involved in a not-for-profit, so I have a group, a circle for that. I do separate things between people that I engage with. I have some general things. I also have a group for people that, I don't have a local group, but I have a group for people that have similar interests, like in health. So I have different things that I categorize and I use them. And so the way that I use them is if I find information that I know that a particular group would benefit from, I would reach out to that person, or this reciprocal kind of thing, or I might share something that someone in a particular circle had posted and do it that way. So I'm very organized like Danny as far as how because I want to remember what it does is it actually helps me remember how I met them. If it's someone brand new, I could say, oh, okay, I met this from because they're from, you know, this company or whatever. And that's how I could relate. And then, you know, I also, you know, will look at their posts in that way and give or take as far as conversation goes that way. But yeah, I'm very similar to Danny in how I organize.
I think that's a good point that you're making. That I don't know that everybody knows, but you can absolutely put people in more than one circle.
Yes. Yep. And I do. I have some people in 4 different circles or 5 different circles based on, you know, what their interests or how I met them or, you know, where they are. So yes.
That Kai Kawai in the house now?
Yeah, let's get an introduction from Kai quickly here. Um,
Can everybody hear me?
Yep.
All right. Hey, how's it going? Sorry I was late. Had a little bit going on today, but jumped on as soon as I could. I just caught the tail end, so we're talking about circles, right?
yeah.
Okay. You know, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay. You know, something that I was thinking about, I was looking at different groups when I saw that posted, and there's a lot of people that are they're actually still scared. Like when somebody adds them to a circle, they have like a trash circle or something that they put them in just in case. They don't want them to see their stuff, and they don't want to put their don't want them posting on their timeline. So that's something else to be said for circles. I don't know. I apologize, I didn't catch the front part, but something that I was thinking about was when someone adds you, are you connecting with them? You know, are you sending them a message saying, "Hey, thanks for adding me," or "Hey, what do you do?" Just something, kind of an introduction. Because I don't know about how many of you guys. I probably get like, I don't know, 4 or 5 ads, you know, and then I'll try to reach out to the people, and if they don't, you know me, like I don't stalk them, but I'll go check out their profile, and I'll at least try to say hi. And if they don't answer me back, sometimes I don't add them.
Yeah, that's absolutely a good
Yep.
way to determine whether or not you're going to add them. I know that's something that I do. And the only way that I'm not reaching out to them is if they're not giving me anything, where their About Me section isn't filled out and they've got a blue head, which pretty much means then if I can't really quickly discern in your post feeds if you're an active person and if you're a business person or have similar interests, then you just don't get added in my circle.
I do the
Absolutely.
same thing.
I'm the same way. But I also, even if they respond to my messages, their feed has to interest me. I don't just add people to my circles just because they talk to me. They have to have interesting content on their feed. I don't want people that are just posting their opportunities everywhere. That's not what I'm looking for. So even if they communicate with me, if you're just posting your opportunity, you will not make it to my circles. So for people that do that, maybe if you want more people to follow you, be careful of what you're posting as well. But let's get Robert, the master circler himself.
Okay, Travis, can you hear me?
Yeah.
My volume's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just listening to what you said about everybody posting, and here's the funny thing. I love those people because I want them in my community for all the active members. So I'll tell you guys a little bit of, it's kind of like I said in the beginning, I don't think a few guys weren't here yet, but I'm a little apprehensive because this is how I built the community. I use the circles. I searched out communities on Google, and I found the most active Google Plus members. Anybody who was actively building a business on Google Plus and posting every day, and I sorted them into certain circles, and then I invited them to the community. And I found that I was getting such a huge response rate from that. And obviously in the beginning I was doing it because I was in business, but once I started to see that, I started to see such a huge response rate every time I would create a circle, and it takes a lot of time, and I would create a circle of 100, and I think it was 150 back then. I'm not sure, Travis, what it is today, how many you can invite to the community, or to a hangout, things like that. I know that the numbers have went up since I started, but I used to be able to maybe invite maybe 150 people a day, and I would target them strategically. And that's how I started the community. So anybody wants to build a community, it works. But Google Plus was getting hot back then, so there was a lot of people doing it. So, but that was just one of the little tips I used. And as far as with circles now, I use it every day. I mean, I use it to see who's active and engaged in the community. I use it to sort out the members who have introduced themselves, the ones who are following my page, the ones who respond to me quickly when I maybe, make a comment. I mean, these are all ways that you can use circles to kind of zero in and target your prospects, the people that you want to do business with. So, and there's so much more, but it's a great tool. And I mean, I wouldn't be here. I don't think any of us would be here on this panel if it wasn't for circles. I mean, you might be on other panels, but you wouldn't be on this one.
Well, I think that Robert brings up a great point that everybody needs to learn just in general in building your business, and that is understand what your end goal is and reverse engineer that. For me, I'm not so big as wanting a huge number of followers because all those numbers mean nothing to me if they're not engaging with me. I would rather have 10 people following me that engage with me and share my content with their circles than have 1,000 people who never engage. So I think it's important to understand your end goal, and then understand your target audience, and then understand where to get those people, and then start strategically working through what your circle management strategy is going to be.
I agree. Having an end goal is extremely important, because if you don't know where you want to go, then you're just going there blindly. What I do myself as well, a lot of things I've done have been mentioned already, but what I do is I have a top 4 circles as well that people go into eventually. But those are the only circles that actually make it to my news stream. You are able to control if your circles make it to your news stream, and so you can monitor that as well. So people that are new that I circle, I'm not necessarily wanting to see the content, so they're in circles that don't make it to my feed. From there, if they start interacting with me, then they get added to circles where I start seeing their content as well. So you are able to control that aspect of it. Does anyone control their circles that way as well on the panel? Does anyone?
I just want to piggyback something that Christina said is because it is important. If everyone on this panel doesn't know who Martin Shervington is, I mean, he's pretty much probably the godfather of Google Plus. And one of the things he actually says, and I remembered this, and this was like one of my big aha moments, was that if you go somewhere and you make a splash and nobody's watching, did you really make a splash? And it goes back to the point of going back to how many people are either 1 in your circle, or 2, or it doesn't matter the amount of necessarily followers, but also it goes to whether they're influencers or people you actually want in your circles, and vice versa. So she brings up a very good point, and I just wanted to piggyback that. And if you haven't watched Martin Shervington's training, you should probably take some time out to do so.
Absolutely, Martin Shervington has some great things. The one thing with Google Plus, I think, that's different from other social networks is followers don't really mean as much as other networks, in my opinion. I don't know if everyone else agrees with that, but there's people that sometimes use circle shares, and that's what we're going to be talking about next. People's opinions and or experiences with shared circles.
That's a topic right there. That's one of
Let's
those.
start it off, Christina.
That's one of those six in one hand, half a dozen in the other. I was firmly planted on the side of I hate circle shares, right? Because I was trying a few of them out. I'd put them in, like a share test 1, share test 2 kind of circle thing, and I was feeling like I got like a bunch of just duds, like creepy people, non-active people, non-business people, extra creepy people. So I was like, oh my gosh, this circle share thing is not working for me. But then I got to thinking about it. It's very important on the other end, and the way I'm doing it is for another passive way of getting of attracting people, is making sure that I find people who are influencers and engagers who create circle shares weekly, and getting into their content, making sure that I'm commenting and engaging and resharing their content, so that I can get part of their circle shares that they're sharing out every week, and that's helping me extend my my followers in a passive way. But I'm getting good engaged followers that way.
Absolutely. There's you need to monitor your circles, shares, and which ones you join. Dana, do you have anything to add to shared circles?
I have to go with Christina. Any shared circles situation that I've gotten into, I've just gotten a bunch of weird, abnormal people that I just, and part of that is the learning process and feeding, working through those and picking out the ones that I need. So, but I'm just like Christina. It's been totally weird with all the different circles. I'm sorry, with the shared circles and all the different people that I've gotten. However, there have been a few that have come out and they've been really great. I've started to develop a relationship with them. So I don't see them as totally bad. I just think as long as you know how to use them effectively, then that is going to give you a more of a quality type of person to help market to, whether you're actually trying to help them or you're going to market your business to them, either way.
Let me unmute my mic while I was still typing. Okay, so I'm going to summarize what Dana just said. So she said, just like Christina, she got a bunch of weird people and kind of agreed, like nobody really engaged and so on and so forth. She said it was altogether, it was a weird learning process. Sometimes it can be really great. It's not all bad if you use them effectively. And one of those ways of using them effectively is for finding quality help or people that you want to actually prospect who are in kind of in the same interest that you're interested in. So using it as a way to sort of help people and to market to them at the same time. So, but she did say overall she totally agreed. She basically echoed what Christina said, and how like she got a lot of weirdos at first and she didn't know how to really use them, and now she's using them more effectively. So
it was scary.
Awesome. What's your experience?
Actually, hold on. She's still saying something else. Hold on. Go ahead, Dana.
I was just saying that it's really scary, some of the people that are out there. That's all.
Yeah. And she also said it is really scary with some of the people who are out there. So, so she said it laughingly and jokingly at the same time. So.
Awesome. What's your experience on circles, Denny?
Well, just to be honest, I only used them when I first got on Google Plus, and immediately just so that was like Dudsville. So yes, could I use them more effectively today? I think absolutely. Problem is, I'm having a hard enough time just keeping up in one community. Never mind the tons of others that I've kind of neglected over the last few months because, like I said, I got literally, I'm not joking when I say this, I got 10 things going on. So to somewhat even get in once a week to do, some welcoming and, a few posts and checking out a few videos here and there, my hands are full to be going into adding massive amounts of people in one shot and trying to still engage at the same time. So I can't add any value to this part of the discussion.
Okay, how about Kai? Have you had any experience with shared circles? Anything you want to add?
You know, I've done a little bit of that, and I tested, what I was doing is kind of what I do in any community that I get into. I tried to just, I think we all do this. We lead with value. We look for any kind of issues that anybody are having. At least that's always been my my contribution to any community. Is first see if anybody needs anything and who's talking, who's active, and say hi to them. And when I used shared circles, I got some, I got some engagement, but it just seemed like it was the same people that were the most engaged in some of the communities that I was in. So I had more luck with just going back to watching the communities and adding those folks that were already kind of, either plus oneing my, my content or were engaging with me on a couple of different levels already. So I don't know if anybody else is having a little more success on that. That'd be awesome. I mean, to kind of hear the theory behind it. But at first I thought, yeah, you could blow up your, your like how many people are in your circles. But it's kind of like you watch people on Twitter, for example. You have some people that follow like 10,000 people, but they only have like 1,000 people following them. So and good, bad, or indifferent. Like I'm not in a like a friend contest, but but I'd rather have quality over 1,000 people that I don't know. So
Absolutely, I totally agree with that. Renee, any experiences with shared circles?
Well, the first time I heard about shared circles was today, so I guess I don't have much to say about that. But if I knew more about what exactly you do, I might find some value in it. But no, I don't have much to contribute as far as that. So sorry.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And Robert, do you have any experiences or stories with shared circles?
I mean, I never really got into it, but I think what everybody else has said on the panel, I just didn't feel that the type of people that I would be attracting would be the ones that I wanted to be following me or me following them. I want the like-minded, the people that are in. I mean, there's hundreds of millions of people on Google Plus, and and there's more coming every day. And my goal has always been to find the ones that I want to connect with in the community. So that's always been my experience. Just like on this Hangout today, I set up I have a circle of I use about 150 people per circle, and I invited probably only 300 people to this Hangout, and I think we had at least 40 or 50 responses, which is amazing. Saying that they're going to come to it, and I can even zero in on that even more. I mean, that's just active people in the community. And I wish I could invite more, but I can't because it wasn't allowing me to. But every time we've done these Hangouts and I've invited a circle, I've always seen some response. So I think that's how you have to use it. I think using the circle share, it's great to get these guys like Guy Kawasaki, 7 million followers, but I don't really see a lot of engagement on the posts. So I guess 200 or 300 plus ones is awesome, but not at 7 million followers as far as I'm concerned. But and I've seen Hangouts where, they invite people. I mean, if you have active people, I think narrowing them down in your circles is the way to do it. And I don't know if anybody's ever mentioned it, but you can place people into multiple circles. I do that. I'm sure you mentioned that, Travis. But, you have them, like I have a community circle, then I have a community who's engaged, then I have a community who's introduced themselves, who's posted. Somebody might be in 4 different circles of mine. They've signed up for my newsletter. They're following my page. I'm narrowing these people down as they're coming into the community, and it's so valuable. And then I can invite them to hangouts and things like this, for you guys to connect with. So that's how I use it.
You brought up a great point about using it to filter people. You can kind of use it as a miniature sales funnel in that context. But I do want to share one thing about shared circles is if people want to use it to gain followers, there's two types of circles sharing. There's the one where you actually get people that engage and that it's quality people. But the ones that you see where it says like you have to +1 and comment and share this circle, I'm sure everyone remembers chain letter emails where it's just like if you don't send this to 10 people, something's going to happen. Well, that's what those kind of circle shares are. So if you see those ones, run the other way. I have in the past shared circles with of people that comment on my content. I will share like an engager circle as a reward for people who have commented or +1 or reshared my content. And it just so other people can see who is engaging and who is active on Google+. But yeah, if you see the big long ones, there's this one, I can't remember his name right now. There's this one guy in particular, he has a new circle every week, and you have to +1 and comment and stuff. Those, I got stuck in one by accident, and I got a lot of people adding me, but they weren't engaging, so I wasn't adding them back. But for people, if you do want to make it look like you have bigger numbers, you can definitely use those. It is just be careful. Like everyone's been saying, engagement is more important than the number of actual followers you have.
But now it's also important to, because like you said, I got stuck in one of those too, and it was taking up too much of my time to like go through because I actually do engage and I actually do send messages. So when people add me, I'm going to go over to their profile and see what they're about, and I was taking up too much time with that. But I do think that there is a fine line between, sort of parsing people out, kicking people to the side, and maybe, like, I have a circle that I was like possible people. For example, there are people all the time that come online who want to learn how to monetize their passion. They're not really sure how to do it. Most of these people are really not entrepreneurs to start with. They don't know what they don't know, so they don't even know what to ask. I think it's worth keeping them around just to stay plugged into me for just a little while, at the very least, and they eventually start asking me questions or start reaching out to me. So I think it's a good idea, again, understanding what your end goal is. I often have maybe affiliate products that
I
think we lost Christina.
Yeah, I think we lost
Well,
her.
either way, there is a question. It comes from Marcia Sortino. She's watching. I've recently engaged with her a little bit. So, but her question is, I think she probably got on a little late, but she said, what is a circle share? Is that a group of people in a circle? So, obviously, we've been having this conversation, but Travis, go ahead. I just wanted to tell you that we did have a question and wanted to acknowledge it.
Awesome. Nice to see you on here, Marcia. She's been active in the community since she joined, so that's awesome.
Very active.
Circle shares is a group of people that you can share. Let me just quickly see if I can find an example of. Actually, I know what I can do. I'm just gonna quickly.
How about this? In the meantime, while you're getting that situated, let Christina go back to her point. She got cut off. So I want to hear the rest of what she was saying. But basically, you said about monetizing people's passion, and people like don't know what they don't know, so they don't know even the right questions to ask. And then somewhere in there, it got a little blurry.
Okay, so I've just said that when I encounter those people, I don't. immediately, kick them out to the side and be like, they're not worth circling. I'll put those people in a circle, maybe a possible blogger, a possible business owner, or something like that, circle. So because it's worth having those people plug into me and my content for a little while to sort of help see what resonates with them and let them come back to me and with a more targeted, hey, I saw you posted this would tell me more about this. It's worth, again, understanding what your end goal is. If you're a person who is affiliate marketing, or if you're a person who helps build businesses from scratch or whatever, it's worth understanding this person may be a possible prospect for me, and it's okay for them to stick around for a little bit of time. It's just important that you have them in a circle that you can tap into them really quickly, see if they're going to engage. If they're not engaging after a month or so, then you can give them the boot.
Absolutely. Great point on that. Just to quickly answer Marsha's question here. This was just me searching on Google Plus here, circle shares. And so if you just click on this, you can add this circle of people. But you can pick certain people, remove people. This one is an example of a circle share I would highly recommend not to get put into. If you expand on it here, it says you need to +1, share the post, add the circle again, and then request. There's no value. It's just a bunch of people that are in a circle. And as you scroll down, most of these, usually if it's over 100 people, I won't even, I'll ask to be removed from the circle. But as you can see, most of these, just quickly skimming through, are not providing any value.
That's too many rules to have friends anyway.
Exactly. It's like paying money to go to a concert, and they're like, get up, stand up, move around. Like, if I want to sit here and bob my head, that's what I want to do. I paid for this.
Hey, I just want to, I know this is a little off topic, but it speaks to exactly what I do, and I'll even leave links in the chat for you guys to check it out after, but I won't mention it. Christina, you mentioned about when people who have a passion and they want to monetize their passion, they don't know where to start. I'm going to give you an example of two friends recently that I've helped start home businesses, and they wanted nothing to do with the internet, and none of it's related to the internet. But they had a passion to, one was a baker, and the other drew some very exceptional art pieces. She's almost like an architectural drawing. She would draw like people's homes, like down to a T. There was even this historic district in Phoenix where she was asked to, pretty much when I started to plant the seed about, I don't know how you're so talented and not monetizing this. This is, I mean, she was so talented. So an opportunity rolls along that she could draw the actual homes that were on this historic home tour. And once she did that, it kind of really built her confidence. And, everyone said what a great job she did and so on and so forth. And she wanted to have a website. So she came to me and she was like, why is it that everyone charges $3,000 for a website? She goes, I don't get it. And I go, well, what do you want on the website? She goes, I just want my name and my pictures on it, like as a portfolio so I can show my work. I go, well, that shouldn't cost $3,000. And then she was like, well, how much should something like that cost? I said, depending on the time, it should only take a few $100s, because if you're not having SEO and all this other nonsense done, as long as you have the pictures, as long as you have the content, I mean, I could put something like that up in a few hours. So she wound up doing that, and I'll leave the link to just one of those sites so you can see it. But most of the time, again, people don't know what to ask, but it's really easy to monetize someone's passion if that's what they love doing and they only want to do that thing, and to be the connector in any way, shape, or form that you can help these people. So if you know anyone who, quote unquote, has a passion, they have no idea where to even begin, just tell them to focus on their passion, and then what are some of the things that they need. This lady needed a website because she was going in the booklet for the event. She got a website, and it didn't cost her $3,000. And now every time she calls me and says, I just got a new commission drawing, and it came from, and I even said, I said, I think your niche would be the real estate market for high-end homes, or if people are selling their home and they just want a memento of their home. So I think those were her two, and so far most of her commissions or commission drawings have come from people in the real estate market who are just like, hey, can you draw me this home because they're closing on this home and I want to have it for them. And it's really awesome.
Exactly.
But I just want to go on that side note because I've done it for so far 3 businesses. So I'm just saying.
That's exactly what I was saying by it's worth understanding what your value is and what you have to offer, and not discounting those people. It's your end goal. See what Daniel's done, and this is, I guess, a little bit of an aside here, but what Daniel's done is he's created himself. He's positioned himself as the pointer, and that's kind of like how I do my business. I might not be able to directly help you, but I'm going to point you to somebody that can. But guess what? Every time you need something, or every time you know somebody that needs something, then you're going to come back to me, and either I'm going to point to me or I'm going to point to somebody else, but you keep coming back to me. So those of you who are watching this right now understand the importance of being able to point and how that can build your business, in a passive way in the future.
Absolutely. That is an important point, even though it is off topic, is you need to know your target market and your niche to gain success online. That is extremely important. So great points there, Danny and Christina. Just looking at the time here, let's move on to, does anybody use tools to grow their circles or manage their circles? Let's start with Robert this time.
You know what? I don't use the tools too much, mainly because I'm usually on my iPhone because I'm working a lot, and I know most of the software or the tool or the circle management is done through a PC or a Mac. But I would love to learn about it because as I'm growing my circles, I mean, I see so many people that use it strategically. So I'm sure you guys would be able to share, all your knowledge about using these circle tools. I would love to hear it because I'm definitely interested. I even said it earlier when I move full time to the online world, online marketing. I'm definitely going to be using a PC more, not just my iPhone. But that's it for me, Travis.
Awesome. But that just goes to show that you can build a community of, I don't even know what we're at. We're over 10,000.
15,000.
15,000 now with an iPhone. So.
But who's keeping count, right?
Exactly, right?
Who's keeping count? Exactly.
But that just goes to show you that you don't necessarily need the tools. And
hey, I'm kind of keeping count.
Because some of these people today, they are actually on the Hangout on their phones or tablets, and so it just goes to show you don't need a computer to leverage Google+.
That's
But let's move
what's so
on.
awesome about it.
Let's move on to Renee. Do you use any tools to grow or manage your circles?
No, I'm with Robert. Like, I'm on my phone right now, but I definitely should learn. It's definitely something that I need to do, but no, sorry.
Oh no, it's totally fine.
We're
Kai,
students. We're students today.
We are.
do you use any tools?
No, I will tell you though that I'm guilty of when I first bought some courses on how to use social media. Some of the people who were selling that information were telling you to use different services to get anything you want to boost engagement by buying likes or buying views or buying followers, and and these were people that they're still selling products today. I'm not buying them from them anymore, but I followed I wanted to see, I was going to test out their theories and find out if it worked or not. And I would tell you guys that is not the way to go. And but there's a sucker born every minute, as P.T. Barnum said, and so there's going to be plenty of people that are trying to get into this business of establishing themselves online, and they're going to stumble into one of those courses. They're $7. Watch out. They're $7. Saying that they're all bad. I'm just saying. Just hashtag just saying, right? Watch out for those. Probably not what you're looking for if you're wanting to build something that's sustainable, that you feel good about, that is going to be something that you build your reputation on. Yeah, then you don't want to use one of those services.
Okay, awesome. Buying followers on any social network is, in my mind, and I think everyone else will agree with me, is a big no-no. One, it's a waste of money. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing it. But Danny, do you use any tools to manage your circles or add people to your circles?
Absolutely not. I just use the search tools for kinds of posts and hashtags and things like that. Everything I use in Google Plus is completely organic for the most part. You know, I think we've all seen the damage of, if we use that other big social network as an example of all the different software tools that are being used today, and you know, it's turned into the whole pay-for-play type thing on that other social network, and this is one of the, you know, the few that it's still completely organic. And so no, I don't use any other tools other than, you know, the search, going into communities, you know, trying to research posts. That's pretty much it. Pretty basic and boring, but gets results.
Can I add something?
Yeah, absolutely.
I add something, Travis, because talking about like tools, I know that Google Plus, there is some software that allows you to like auto post on all your social media, and I know a lot of people use it because it's so you know, it saves so much time. The one thing I do in my community, I don't allow it, and if I see it, I know it, and I won't approve those posts. So I don't really want people auto posting every day. Most of those posts are going to get flagged anyway, especially if you're doing it in multiple communities. So using software, I know it's great online and it works, but if you're not engaged, you know what? I mean, you're going to get a following, but I just don't see it. I don't see it. I mean, I know you can use it to post on all your other stuff, but as far as my community, I try to keep that out. I try to keep that part of you know, social media engagement out, where people are just posting every day and just trying to catch that sucker.
Hashtag
keep the gurus
no
out. We keep
trying.
the suckers out. Yeah. And the funny thing what Kai talks about you know, about like all these scams, like all these Facebook software things that you can post in all these communities and get all these followers. It usually just gets you banned. It just gets you banned from Facebook. Your profile gets deleted. It's all bad. It's all bad stuff. But I know a lot of people use it and people make money off of it, and they sucker people into buying this stuff. And it's almost like a rite of passage, though, to be an internet marketer. I think you got to get scammed a few times to realize, you know, what you really want to do. If you really want to do this and you want to do it right, you want to be different than everybody else. You know, you don't want to scam people. And I think that's kind of what we got going on here and in the community, and that's the type of people that we're attracting. Because the people that come in and just want to post their link and just get out, you know what? We're not really letting those people in here. You got to engage, you got to build relationships, and you got to get on these Hangouts with us. So that's my 2 cents.
Absolutely, very important. Dana and Christina, do you use any tools?
Let's go, Dana. Yeah, because Dana was just trying to chime in anyway. So let's.
Yeah.
take note on Dana. So Dana, go ahead.
Okay. I myself don't use any of the tools for the circle management. I'm just going to be flat out honest. But what I do want to say is that if there's anybody that's watching who needs that type of information or who has that type of information and would be willing to share it and teach somebody and teach all of us, any of us on the panel, anybody that's in the community, step forward, post it in the Q&A, do a public post, however you want to do it. We're all people who want to learn about this stuff, and so I think it's very important as a community that someone can say, hey, I know about this information, let me offer it to you, and that way all of us can learn, because I know the ones that are on the panel, we're not the only ones who haven't learned about the tools or don't know the tools, haven't used the tools. It's an opportunity to share and to also to build a relationship.
Good point.
I keep forgetting to unmute myself, but okay. So here we go. She goes. She doesn't use any of the tools, but she also put to anybody who's even watching this, or if people on the panel and others, if they do use some of these tools for circle management, to post in the community to actually show us how, because it's probably something that we can all benefit from, and it's also a way that other people outside of the community can also learn from one another. So that's a summary of what Dana said.
Awesome. And Christina, do you use any tools to manage your circles?
No. I'm very anti-tool right now just because I'm so big on engagement. But I am finding as my business is growing, tools can certainly help you leverage getting your your syndication done for your initial post. But I've not taken the time to learn how best to use these tools. And some of it is because the ones that seem to be the best are paid ones, and I'd rather use my budget on other things right now.
Fair enough. Sorry it's looking crazy right now. I do use some tools, and I'm going to quickly give you guys a quick view of the tools I use. All these tools do have free options to them. So here's just a post that I posted the other day. It got 18 plus 1 and 5 shares and 8 comments. And so what I do is, on people, influencers, especially in my niche that I do, is I go to their post like this, see, okay, it's a post that works for me, like we're talking about the similar things. You go to the little drop-down arrow, link to post, take that post, and I put it in a tool called Circuloscope. This is great. It allows you to mass unfollow and follow people and find your engagers. So what I do is you go down to engagers of a specific post. This is going to pop up. I'm going to post the link to that post I just showed you guys. And it is now going to show me everybody that commented, +1'd, or shared that post. And so it is a great way to find people similar to your niche through this tool. There is a free option. It doesn't allow you to mass add people. So you can see some of these people are my circles. If I go to filter, you can filter people out. So I only want people. If I do a check, it means I want that. If you click it again, it's an X. So I want people I haven't circled. And apply filter. Okay, so now it's only showing me people that aren't in my circle that have commented on my own post. And so you can do this for anybody. It's a free thing. I will put a link in the event page for people to use this, but this is a great way to find people in your that are doing similar things to you. I think it's a
And
very go ahead.
that's the free version of it, Travis.
Yes. So the free version, it won't allow you to mass add people. Like you can,
Right.
Al Smith, for example, is just going to pop up, and then you can add them. Look at their profile on the free version. If you do the paid version, is $47 or $49 for the year, and it would allow me to. You can click on all of these people, and then under action, you can add them to circle. You can block people, and different things. So the paid version allows mass adding and unfollowing and stuff.
Yeah, there's some great info out there about Circle Scope. I've heard it. It's good stuff.
The profile, the little eye here. So Al, he's actually following me. It shows you. Oh, he has a location. Oh, we're from the same place. I gotta chat him up. And occupation, and so there's information that shows you without actually going directly into the profile. This has been a huge tool for me to manage my circles. And again, it is a free version. Another tool I'm going to quickly touch on, I don't use it as much. I'm sure Robert uses it more than I do, the circle count. This is for your stats. If you do care about your rankings, I personally don't, but it gives you numbers on followers, engagers, your if you've been to any events, it will show your events that you've been to. See, I've been stuck in public circles. Sorry, but if you get a message from Jason Levy, they're pretty spammy circles. I'm not going to lie to you. But again, see, some of these Pinterest women's fashion, have no idea why I'm in that one. But what I use this for is you can see what your top posts are, what your most commented post is, and this is what I use circle count for, is to see what's working and recreate those posts. So if you guys have been following me, you've noticed I've been posting black and white photos, and they've been getting a nice response compared to ones that haven't. And so I learned that by testing and seeing it through circle count. And then one other tool, again, I don't use as much, is Node 3x. You can type in different keywords, and it tells you who's searching, like the numbers of searches for specific keywords. So I know Danny and Kai have a very good hashtag strategy. I'm sure this would complement that. Here's just other words that are similar to your keywords that you put. Influencer, it's supposed to show influencers. I haven't found a good experience with that being that accurate. But another cool thing is it shows you latest posts with people that have mentioned the keywords that you're searching for. So you can find people that are talking about similar things. It shows you the countries of these people, of where they're talking about it, if they have your home location added. So you can kind of see who's talking about what.
So Travis.
Yeah, so questions. I just want to quickly show the tools that are, these are all free tools, by the way, that can be used. So Christina, question.
Now, what I'm curious about is because all this is great stuff, right? But the reason that I've chosen, again, not to dive into them is, A, I don't want to pay for them, and B, I don't want to take the time to figure out how to use them. So I'm curious how long, like, You know, how long did it take you to figure out how to use them effectively and everything? Because essentially, I mean, searching by hashtags and flipping hover cards and stuff, you can kind of glean the same information. And I'd like to figure out, you know, is it worth my time to figure these tools out?
Absolutely. These are the three tools that I use, but the one tool I think, if people want to learn a tool to get better results, is Circloscope. The learning curve is very small. You saw how I was able to find these people that have engaged in my content that aren't in my circles. It's just a matter of clicking on the little drop-down arrow. I'll show you guys again. Drop-down arrow, link to post. And then in Circloscope, I was looking for engagers because I wanted to find people from my post. If you want to find people who aren't interacting on your posts, you can do this by people who 3 months. So let's see who hasn't interacted with me in any way in the last 3 months or on their own content. So if they haven't been posting things to their circles, oh, that's good. I've been managing my circle, so people are not 3 months of non-activity, but you can manage that. So these are the two main ones I use, as well as relationships. So you can see people who aren't following you. So Christina, you were saying you like to maybe after a month remove people that haven't followed you back. This will show you everyone with just a click of a button who's in your circles who aren't following you back.
You've convinced me. I'll try it out.
So out of the three, Circloscope is by far the one I use on a regular basis for my circle management. The paid version, like I said, it allows you to mass add and delete people. But if you want to delete people, let's say I want to delete Adrian, you just click on that and click OK, and it will remove them from every circle. So these people, like Agnes, for example, if I delete her, it will remove her from all my circles. So I don't have to go and uncheck each circle. So for people that use lots of circles, maybe Danny, this would be a benefit to you, possibly. But by far, this is the best one I recommend. I am going to do a webinar this week, most likely. I'll see what everyone's schedule is like in a day that works for everyone, and I will go into more detail on that. But those are the tools I use, and they have made a huge difference to my circle management to find quality people, especially Circloscope, because again, people are your influencers. You can see who's actually interacting. What I do is I also only add people that comment on other people's stuff. +1s is very easy, and people can +1 all day, but they might not actually be engaged in the content. A lot of people just +1 to get people to follow them, but if you actually comment, that means people have put in some effort and use some brain cells towards the content. And so and that's why I use Circloscope, is I only add people that have commented on influencers' posts. And I don't do it with every post that my influencers post. Like if they're posting about surfing, for example, because Martin Shervington, he likes to surf, I'm not going to add those people. I'm not going to use that post to find out engagers. I only want things that are similar to what I am doing. And I only want people I want the people that comment on similar things.
Good stuff. Webinar this week, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna do one. I'm gonna post post in work from home community to see a day that works for people, and I'm going to do it as a poll, test out the poll section, and see what day works the best. Over the next couple days, I'll probably do it midweek, like Wednesday to Friday, or weekend for people, just because my next couple days are really busy. But I will go into thorough detail over Circuloscope and how I've used it to gain. Right now, I'm averaging about 10 followers, engaged followers. Like, I'm getting comments and shares and plus ones on a regular basis on anything I post. So that is thanks to Circuloscope. Anybody want to quickly add anything? I know we're a little over the hour, but I did want to quickly show people that. Does anyone have any one last things you guys need to say before we call it a day here? Respect people's time.
Only because it bears on this conversation of like how I started off with how I'm using circles. I did do a webinar that I've got recorded. You know, if it's okay with Robert, maybe I can drop a link to if anybody wants to check out how I'm, you know, leveraging the circles, then they can check that out.
Well, you can just post it to the event page, the actual event page. And actually, Danny, that link that you mentioned earlier, John actually dropped that in the event page. This way everybody can see it and not just the panel. And it's on the event page and it's not attached to the community directly. So Christina, you can just throw that in there, and then people that go to the event page to watch this again can see it in the comments. But anybody else, any last points you feel that will help anyone in the community here?
Travis, yeah, I think it's great. Set up that Hangout going over Circuloscope, because I know I would love to learn from that, and I know there's probably a ton of people in the community that would too. So yeah, set up, that'll be awesome, man. That'll really be awesome. And I know we like to keep these things short so they, for people's time, but it was a great hangout today. Thanks everybody for being on it, and thanks Travis for hosting it. Awesome. Thanks.
Yes, I will definitely get that done up. Again, thank you, Robert, for the community. Like I said, and I think everyone else will agree with me that this is honestly the best community from like work from home, network marketing space on Google Plus by a long shot. And so thank you, Robert, for creating this great community. But if no one else has anything to say, let's respect everyone's time here. I will post something here in just a minute on a day that works for people for the Circuloscope webinar, but I'll probably between Wednesday and Friday. But if no one else has anything to say, let's just call it a day. Let everyone enjoy their Sunday. And bye for now. See you next week.
Bye.
Take care, everybody.